In this video, I'm going to talk to you about one critical lesson that I learned when I was only 17 years old, and I can honestly say that it changed the course of my life forever. Okay, what this one lesson allowed me to do was have a crystal clear framework that has allowed me to consistently achieve the goals that I set. Okay, there's a few different moving parts to it. I filmed a video recently that I'm going to cut over to in a second while I was driving. The thoughts were coming to me really clearly, and so I put the camera on and just spoke. So I apologize that the angles aren't perfect, the lighting's not great, all that kind of stuff. But I've had some amazing feedback from people that I've shared this video with, that it set off a lot of light bulbs and gave them a lot of clarity around some of their own mindset things that they're working through. Okay, there's one core fundamental premise here that I really want to get across to you, and I think when it clicks, it's going to help you to have clarity about what to do next, and then you can just compounding wins into bigger and bigger things. Okay, it's been critical in winning all the awards that you see around me in the office, back in my corporate career when I was doing that from 2011 to 2018, a really fundamental lesson. So I'm excited to share it with you. Before I cut over, if you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to click that big red button. Give this video a like if you get any value from it. And if you want more information about how we might be able to help you in your information or affiliate business, head to www.jacobcaris.com. All the information's there. You can join my free community, email newsletter, everything. And with that all out of the way, let's cut to the video and dive into this one big thing. Cheers.
G'day folks, what is going on? In this video, I want to talk to you about how I've been able to win in the online game. And more importantly, I think the lesson that I'm going to share with you in this one can become very critical in you winning too. Okay, I'm just in the car, obviously. I'm driving to my parents for dinner. It's Mum's birthday. Her birthday's on Thursday. I bought her and Dad tickets to go see Stage Show in Sydney, Phantom of the Opera, one of my mum's favourite shows, and she was really wanting to go, so I bought her tickets months ago, and they're heading down there for her actual birthday, so I'm going to have dinner with her tonight in advance of that. So I thought I'd take the opportunity while I'm cruising along here to film a quick video and talk about this topic, which has been spinning around in my head for a little while, and it's one that I've reiterated to inner circle members, private clients along the way, and it's sometimes something that people need to hear a few times, which is totally cool. Advice is a two-way street, right? Amazing advice can fall on deaf ears simply because the person's not ready to receive it. Now, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the person hearing it. It just means that they may not be at a point in their life where they're ready to actually hear that advice yet. Okay, and note I say yet, their time will come, right? There's experiential things that they need to go through. There's situations that they need to face. There's fucking losses that they need to put on the board before that advice is going to be relevant to them, right? So if I say this stuff to you in this video, or any video for that matter, and it doesn't quite resonate yet, that's cool. Just bank it, and the time will come at some point in the future where it is relevant to you. If you stick at what you're currently doing, and my guess is if you're watching this, it's the online business game. Okay, now, I don't say that to posture that I've got everything figured out. I know what I know at this point in time, okay? And if you're earlier in your online business journey than me, right, you're still trying to make your first couple of $1 million online in terms of sales, and that could be affiliate products, it could be courses, coaching, mentorship. Maybe you're an expert at something, and you're still trying to generate those first few million in sales. You're trying to grow a personal brand. You want to create content that sells. You're trying to build a community, an email list, all that kind of shit, right? I can give you advice on that because I've done it, and I've been able to do it pretty well, and have won a bunch of awards along the way. But I've still got a lot of lessons to figure out as well. I've got mentors. I pay mentors a lot of money because they're further along than me, right? All we can learn from is the people that are ahead of us, and take on board the lessons and experiences and insights and leadership and wisdom that they're willing to give us, deploy it into our own life, and see how it goes, right? Then it's up to our own attitude to stick with it. So in this one, I want to talk about, like I said off the top, how I've been able to win. And if this can click for you, I think it can go a long way in you winning too, right? Now, or you already winning. It's a matter of continuing to win and winning bigger and bigger, right? Setting those bigger targets and continuing to crush it, setting new challenges, right? right? You're going to keep evolving. You're going to want to keep evolving. You know, we got our business to consistent 60, 70, 80K months over the last few years. And then that achievement opens new challenges. So just as an example, we were able to get our business up to consistent, 60, 70, 80 grand months. And then a new challenge came to light. We wanted that on a recurring basis. And what I don't mean like we wanted every month, we were doing that. I mean, we wanted that at the start of the month, right? So it becomes a new challenge. We have to change up our pricing. We have to create new offers and find a methodology or a series of methodologies, strategies, tactics, principles to deploy in order to be able to achieve that. And that's what we're going through now. We're working towards having a business cash flow profile that starts the month at $1 million run rate, okay? And that presents some challenges, which I'm working through and we're working through with the team, but we'll get there, right? And it's in that line that I just said, we will get there, where the lesson lies in this video, okay? I want to take you back and tell you a little bit of a story about a younger Jacob, a younger JC, a much younger JC. So I'm 31 now at the time of filming this. So I graduated high school in 2008, all right, when I was 17, turning 18 in the December of that year. And I did well in high school. Like, I worked really, really hard. I wanted to get good grades. I managed to get a scholarship for my last couple of years of school, and I needed to maintain a certain level in order to keep that scholarship, which saved my parents some money on the fees for the school that I was attending, which was a good school. So very, very lucky, very, very grateful for that opportunity. And I had no problem with the work ethic that I needed in order to achieve that. I came into my last year of high school, right? I don't know where it came from. I don't know where the want or the desire came from to achieve this thing that I want to tell you about, but it did. It popped up. I remember there was a day very early at the start of the new year when I was in my last year of high school, and we had about 250 people in our grade. And like a lot of schools, they had like end of year awards for people who accomplished certain things. And I remember walking out of class one day, and as I said, I don't know what triggered it. But I said to myself, I'm like, I want to top the grade. I said, I want to be number one. They called it ducks, right? I said, I want to be number one. And I knew that was going to be a massive challenge. 250 people, a lot of smart people. I knew that was going to take a hell of a lot of hard work. I knew it was going to take sacrifices. But once I made that decision on that day, it just became my whole focus, right? And I went about making it happen. Okay, I worked my ass off that whole year, right? Sacrificed a lot of things socially. It was priority. I wanted to do really well in my last year of school because I believed it was important to set myself up thereafter, right? Some people can choose to agree with that. Some people can choose to disagree with that. That's not the topic here, but worked my ass off that entire year, and I actually achieved it, right? It happened. I made that a reality. And when that came to fruition, from that moment onwards, I realized that in this life, I've got the ability, and when I say I, you do as well, I've got the ability to pick something that I want to achieve and make it an inevitability that it happens. Okay? Now here's a couple of caveats for you. And there was a key word in there that I'm going to circle back to. You don't always know how long it is going to take to achieve that thing. You don't always know the exact path, right? Most cases you don't. You don't know the resources that you're going to need. You don't know the sacrifices that you're going to have to make. All of that shit follows once you make the decision to do it, right? But you can make it an absolute inevitability if you simply pluck it out as something that you want to accomplish, and in your head, you make it an inevitability. It's not if, it's when. Now, in order to really lean into that way of thinking, and not even lean into, or immerse yourself in that way of thinking, because it's not a half in, half out thing, right? It's you have to 100% believe that. In order to really immerse yourself in that, you have to become comfortable with the fact that you don't know all those things that I mentioned before. But that's quite a liberating and exciting thing, if you ask me, because if you set some big goals, right, whatever they may be, financial or otherwise, you can get excited by the fact that they will happen if you choose and if you embrace in your own mind that it is a 100% inevitability. Okay? Now, once you make that decision and that choice and embrace that, hey, this thing will happen. I just don't know when, how, what, all those parameters, who. I don't know all these things. You have to get 100% comfortable with that fact. Then you're free. You're free to go about figuring out the answers to the problems that you have to overcome in order to make that a reality. Okay? There will be frustrations along the way. There will be moments where you think that end thing feels really, really far away, where you don't want to keep going, where you feel like everyone else is against you, where you feel like whatever you try doesn't work. But for me, the biggest thing that's served me in my life up until this point, and like I said, I'm only 31, I haven't got everything figured out, I've just done what I've done, right? I did well in high school, like I said, accomplished that. That got me 3 university scholarships. Did well at university, finished a 3-year degree in 2 years, got into a corporate role that I accelerated up pretty quickly. That unlocked a path to New York. All these things happened through work ethic and through setting targets, and in my own head, it was an inevitability. It wasn't if, it was when, right? And then when I came online, the thing that grabbed me to come online was affiliate marketing. And in particular, the folks over at ClickFunnels had their dream car award, right? Now that may not seem like a big thing, but there's not been many people in the world that have won that, right? A couple of hundred max. And I can tell you, there's been well over 100,000 people have tried, well over. And when I saw that thing and decided that was what I wanted to go after, it wasn't if, it was when, okay? Now, the marketing for it said do it in 3 months. It took me 18 months, okay? It took me 18 months, but that's fine. I still got there. Another big milestone online for me was the 2 Comma Club, all right? Some people like that, some people don't. I don't care. It was a milestone that I wanted to hit. It was a challenge that I wanted to undertake and achieve. $1 million through a single product online. There's not many people that have done that. And so set about building the Super Affiliate Accelerator, which is the program that myself and a couple other gents created that ultimately won it. When we started it, it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when, okay? And that took 15, 16 months, right? Is that the fastest that anybody's ever done it? No. Do I care? Hell no. Because we still accomplished the thing. Do you know how many people started and stopped in those 16 months, right? That program's still going today. Do you know how many copycats have tried to model what we did and ultimately quit, who've actually come back and gone, yeah, we should have just stayed with you. And now, we're working on the challenge that I was telling you about before, which is we want to start the month at the $1 million run rate. And that's presenting a whole new scope of challenges for me to figure out as a business owner, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur. And it's not easy, right? You take a couple of steps forward, you get hit, you take a couple of steps back, but each time you take that hit and those steps back, you learn, which means that the steps forward can become bigger and bigger and they can become stronger and stronger. You can jump forward and plant your feet really hard so that the next time that same knock comes, you aren't impacted as badly. And it's just a matter of continuing to chip away and to chip away and to chip away. And contrast that goal of what I'm chasing now within my first year as a blogger in 2017, when I really jumped back into the affiliate marketing game, or jumped back into the online game, because I dabbled in about 2011. It's like 20 grand in the first year. Look at how those goals and challenges have progressed. But the one thing that stayed the same is that for me, when I picked that goal, like back when I was in grade 12, like the dream car, like the 2 Comma Club, it's inevitable. I just got to figure out the path. I've just got to figure out, what do I need to learn? Who do I need to pay? What do I need to test? What do I need to stop doing? Right? That's one that not a lot of people talk about. What do I need to change about me? My habits, my mindset, my perspectives. Who can I lock arms with to accelerate this, or to do this in a more sustainable way? to make this more fun so that, you know, it does guarantee that I get there. That's when the game starts, right? For me, that's when the game starts, is when it's an inevitability in your mind that it will happen. If it's a goal that you really want, right? If you can't pick the goal sticks, you got a whole nother problem. People are constantly moving the goalposts, and then they wonder why they can't figure it out. You got to set the goalposts. Then you can change the plan. That's fine. Just stop moving the goalposts. If you keep moving the goalposts and you keep changing the plan, that's fucking chaos. Absolute fucking chaos. So pick the goal, pick the outcome, pick the vision, and bury that so fucking deep in the ground that it doesn't change. Then go about figuring out the path to get there. And just embrace the fact that it's going to be shit at times, but it's going to be really fun at times as well. And when you realize that the shit things are normal, and that the challenges are normal, and everybody's going through them regardless of what their goalposts look like, you realize that it's not just you, right? Everyone's going through it, just at different levels, different numbers of zeros, right? Different numbers of people. Everyone's got the challenges. It's just that some people work through them, and some people let that put them on their ass and they don't get back up. That's been one of the biggest things that I've learned in my life today, is that if you can 100% embrace a mindset of whatever that thing is that you want to target, right? And I don't give a fuck if it's material. Some people say, oh, don't make it material things. Figure that out for yourself, right? You might set a material target and you get there, and then you realize, hey, that material thing wasn't for me. Who cares? You still achieved it, right? That's still creating a positive loop, positive reinforcement loop in your own mind, right? You're going to build more and more self-confidence, more self-belief, more self-respect by achieving it. Don't let other people tell you can't set a material target on something. If you want to set a target of buying a nice car, go buy a nice fucking car. Figure out for yourself if you like it or not, right? Don't let other people tell you that you shouldn't have a nice car or you shouldn't want to have a nice car. That's up to you. If it's not a material thing, fine. You might get the non-material thing and go, hey, shit, I did that thing, but fuck, I'd like a Ferrari. It's up to you. The point isn't about what the goal is. The point's how you look at the goal. And do you look at it as something that might happen? Maybe, I hope. Or do you look at it as, well, if I want that fucking thing, I'll get it. It's just a matter of when. And I'm totally okay with the fact that I got to figure it out, because I got time. When I decided to start my online business, I knew I'd quit my job. I knew I'd be able to quit my job. I didn't know how. But that's okay. First time we do it, we're like, you know, why should you know, right? Why should you know? And then I think people think that, you know, if they jump through a couple of programs or mentors or methods, that it means they've failed. No, you're just trying to figure out the fucking path. And if it's a meaningful goal and it's not something that's like super easy that a lot of people have tried before and failed at, then it just validates it even more. Just don't change the goal. Just keep tweaking and trying different things, and you'll get there eventually. The only way you won't is if you stop. And when people truly realize, I think people throw that around, but they don't truly realize it. You can sit here today and get really, like, whatever that goal is, that one target is, goal, vision, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can get really excited about the fact that that will happen for you if you just stick with it. And if, I think, you adopt this mentality that it's inevitable. That's critical for me. So that's been a lesson that I've picked up from the wins that I've been able to put on the board in the online game, and even going back, right? High school, university, through my 20s and my career, my consulting career, and coming online. It's that same mentality. When I got the job and moved to New York from Australia, I deep down knew that I'd get it. And I was competing against a lot of more experienced people than me. I was the least experienced in the crew. And some people might call it arrogance, confidence, I don't know. I just think about it as, if there's something that I want to accomplish, I'm making the choice in my own mind as to if I want that to be something I speculate on if I can achieve or not, or if I make it an inevitability. And you can ask the guys that I work with, right? Ask Jamie, ask Chris, if this is my approach, and I'm pretty sure they'll reinforce it. It's, you just got to make it not an if, but a when. And if you can make that shift, that's when the game becomes really fun. Because now you get to go full mad scientist and figure out how you're going to do it. And cut yourself some slack, right? Like, I work with people who, in the space of a couple of years, have gone from having no clue what they're doing online to making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, creating products and profits out of literally thin air by mastering like a little skill or developing a little strategy, and they're still writing themselves about not being where they want to be. You'll get there. It's going to be fine. So think about this. Think about this inevitability concept. And whatever your goal, your target, your vision, your mission, whatever label you want to put on it, I don't care. What's that one thing that you want to accomplish right now? If you don't know what that is, figure it out. And two, if you have figured it out, ask yourself, am I still speculating? Am I still hoping that this is even something that I can achieve? And if you are, you're half cooked, and not in a good way, right? Like you're making the challenge infinitely harder. You're putting roadblocks in front of yourself that you don't need to be. If you can fully embrace and accept that it will happen for you, if you don't stop, and if you become liberated by the fact that it's not going to be an easy road and there's going to be challenges along the way, you won't be as concerned when things don't go right. You'll just realize it's the next step, right? You don't lose, you learn. And those learnings from things that didn't go as planned or how you wanted them to, those learnings stack up too. And it's those things that will compound and will ultimately get you to that goal in the end. Okay. Hopefully there's an insight in there for some of you. I appreciate you hanging out with me on this drive. It's made it go very, very quickly. I'm not too far off now, so I'm going to go enjoy dinner. Head over to www.jacobkarras.com if you want to check out what we've got going on wherever you're seeing this video. You might be able to hit up our YouTube channel. You can hit up our free private Facebook group. I've got an email newsletter. You can check out the masterminds that we run in the information marketing space. All the good stuff is over there, and we can get to know each other a little bit better. I appreciate you spending this time with me today. I know you're busy. I know you've all got a lot going on, so it means a lot to me. I don't take it lightly, you hanging out with me, and I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope you have a great day. Go make whatever it is that you want to accomplish inevitable, and it'll happen. I appreciate you.